just as Jazz CFC has said there, oh, what a beautiful Monday it has actually been, and what a beautiful, beautiful Monday Club we're going to have for you guys. Thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in. It is your Celtic Supporters Podcast. Andy's there, Hoggy's here, and Paul has just magically appeared there as well. So, gentlemen, we will get the pleasantries over and done with first of all, because this is going to be a right good wee show tonight, lads. Andy boy, how's your weekend, son?
Aye, it was good, mate. Aye, pretty quiet up until the game yesterday, and just settled down in the house to watch it. Defibrillator on hand, as usual for when Celtic are playing. So I think overall it turned out to be a beautiful Sunday. Incidentally, driving off that boat alarm this morning, a big cheesy smile was so satisfying. Can't beat it.
Good man, good man. And Paul, how was your weekend, son?
All right, wasn't it?
Aye.
Went pretty well. Same as Andy, pretty quiet. You hear me?
Yep, I can hear you, mate.
Aye, all pretty quiet until yesterday, and then fun and games on a multitude of levels, wasn't it? After that, aye, very good. Obviously, I've seen you going into Grunt Hoggy.
Aye, there's a few...
A fucking disaster, that, innit? What the fuck was that all about, that?
It's like, we'll jump into that stuff.
Anyway, we'll come to all that, but all good.
Aye. There is a few things...
so bear with me.
No worries. There is a few things that we will get into tonight as well, because I met Paul actually in the walk up to Snake Mountain yesterday as well. So there was a few things that happened that's just, again, post type shit as well, but it was a strange day all round yesterday. Absolutely strange day as well, because it was possibly one of the worst game of footballs I've fucking watched in a long time. It was utter shite. And then where I was sitting in row B, right, basically the last man before the Rangers fans behind the goals. And, fucking chaos, man, absolute chaos. But we'll get into that. Before we do, we always give our thanks to our sponsors. We've got two sponsors for the podcast. First of all, Adalantes.com. That is our clothing sponsor. Jump on to www.adalantes.com. Use the discount code CSP5 for £5 off at the checkout. And also Pro Sports Media, our friend and colleague Dennis Devlin. He does his podcast on the Sunday as well. So please, guys, go in, look for Pro Sports Media on Facebook, all your normal socials that you can get there. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Thank you very much. So, I've not got an agenda because I'm as rough as Tarzan's feet today. Yes, it has been one of those days, getting on doing a shift and then doing some volunteer and stuff and getting back in here. So, what I want to start with, guys, is because we sat for a wee while on Friday and tried to kind of bum our way through picking a team that we're going to get there. And I think we can all safely say as well, we were fucking nowhere near it. Nowhere near that team as well. So the starting team for Sunday, Sinisalo in goals, which I think we all kind of expected there. Arajo, yes. Arthur started. Trusty started. Scales at left back. Your midfield three was Negrin, McCowan and Hitati. And then you had Yang, Maida and Taneki. I'm saying I might laugh as well. We weren't actually that far. But Andy, just on reflection, then the first thing that came into your head when you seen that team, what was it?
No Calmac, no Tierney. And Scales looking as if he was going to play left back. We had it that either Thrusty or Arthur were going to play there, and Scales was a dead cert to be a centre back. As it turns out, he's in the left side of the defence, left back role. Sinisalo wasn't a surprise. I think we all kind of called that. Thought it was time to really get a proper shot on the team. And then you're obviously looking at where at that lineup in the midfield, who's playing where, who's going to play the Calmac role. As it turned out, it was wee McCowan, which I don't think turned out very well, to be honest with you. And then you're looking at the front line, which, you know, Yang, you get hit or a miss with him. Taneki can turn it on at times, and Maida up front, you know, you're getting the workman-like performance in the press and that, I think, Maida, but not really much else. So you've got to weigh up what you prefer. Do you want the press, or do you want somebody that's going to score a goal? And unfortunately, we've not really got a lot of players that can score goals, so you're going to have to go with the press and somebody that's really really going to be a pest to the opposition goalkeeper and defenders.
Aye, it was. We were on the bus when we seen the team coming through, Paul, and it was.
Yeah.
I think we all kind of knew Tierney was kind of hit or miss, and we kind of said that with the games that's going to come up later in the season or later in the fucking next week, and they starting as well, that it might be one that you could have seen Tierney maybe sitting out, but because it's Rangers, probably no. But Captain Marvel, Callum McGregor, was posted missing. Did you hear anything at all about Callum McGregor being injured?
Not the same as you, Hoggy, just until we were on the bus as well, and we just pulled into Park at Ibrox when it came through. Yeah. My first reaction when I seen the team sheet was, oh, fuck. You know what I mean? Where's your leaders? Where's your captain types? There was none, really. Was there? Struggled the night, fell the glove. I'm a bit tender, mate, so no feeling great either. But that's another story.
This will be another show tonight.
I'll drag myself through this hour, Hoggy. I'll be a drag through. No, listen, I think like everybody, it was like, fuck, where's the winners? Where's the leaders?
Yeah.
And I think that showed, let's be honest, for most of the game. I think so I never heard nothing about Callum McGregor. I did hear at the game somebody said in front of me that he was out for the season. I take it that's absolutely shite.
Well, no, I seen Mark O'Neill talking after the game saying that Tierney's supposed to be in contention for next week, but McGregor's out for weeks. They said it'll be a longer wait for him to get back into the team. I don't know if that's the season ender. Yeah. They said it'll be weeks rather than days for him.
So we need to work on how that goes moving forward. But no, I was a wee bit worried about the team sheet. Obviously, we'll come into individual performances. I'll say it now. I thought the defence, once we got going, was superb.
Yeah,
the whole back four were brilliant. After a shaky start for Scales, I thought he'd come into a real game.
Yeah,
and anybody that played centre half, and obviously the full-backs were excellent. So
it was kind of, Andy. Would you say it was kind of? I don't want to say a rearguard kind of game because it wasn't as if
it was that, mate. I think you could see that as the game kind of went on that they didn't have really any kind of threat up front at all as it turned out. Yeah. So then you look back on it, you go, well, he's went for that more. So whatever you do, don't lose a game more than try and win it kind of thing.
Yeah,
I'm not saying it was back to the wall the whole game because it certainly was not. Right, I know it's out there saying that Rangers absolutely pummeled us, but you know, you look at it. I think Sinisalo made 3 saves the whole game. No matter how many shots he had, you know, it didn't quite play. I think we actually had more possession in the first half. Might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's right. So, you know, I think we said that before the game. We were talking about performances, and I think we all agreed that are we going to get that perfect Celtic performance? And then you look at a team and it's even more thinner than it was before. Then it was always going to be even more difficult than it was before the game.
Yeah.
So I think considering where we are as a club when it comes to injuries, squad depth and quality, I think the defenders were absolutely fantastic yesterday. Flying a goalkeeper in there as well.
Mm-hmm. It was a great performance. It was a great performance, and it was a kind of one of the performances as well that because I sat the day trying to think about it and think, did Celtic actually do really well yesterday? Or were Celtic really fucking poor? Because it's like, as you said, there was no attacking threat, there was no cutting edge. But on a defensive kind of wise, we were really, really strong, Paul. Really strong.
Okay. Sorry, when you go.
No, I was just going to say, when you see that team, because obviously the kind of changes, one of the big changes is in the defence. And you know what I'm like as well, trying to be Mr. Positive in there as well, because their bus was like, for fuck's sake, we've got to get hammered. And I'm like, guys, that's the fucking team that's going to get you into the semi-finals of the Scottish Cup today. Usual shite talking as well. But it was and one of the comments there as well, I think, who's put it up there, because I just went by it. Mark Kapler. Martin O'Neill's holding this team together, definitely playing for him, but lacks so much quality. I think that's what you seen yesterday, Paul.
Absolutely.
In a situation now where, whether it is, because Martin O'Neill said as well about how many games they've got, they're all out on their feet, they're knackered, they're injured as well. We need to be getting back to these 1 game a week stuff. But Martin O'Neill is holding this team together, and you can see in the players that we've got as well, they are playing for him. They're playing through adversity, through fucking tiredness, whatever it is. But that's what I kind of thought yesterday. It was one of the ones that it was shite, but it was actually really good in some ways as well.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
Aye, listen, Hoggy, I thought at no point in the game, I can't remember for a long time being at Ibrox and being so relaxed that they weren't going to score. Like for the whole, by the way, almost on equal with the fact that we weren't going to score either. But I thought just concentrate on. Listen, we're going to Ibrox. We're going to hate defend. We know that. We've said, and I think Justy was absolutely fantastic. It was superb. It was absolutely brilliant. Salo, how many times did he come out and catch balls clean as you like?
Yeah.
And so working for that base, and obviously skills really come onto a game. Roy obviously did his usual, had an excellent game, I thought. So I listen, but so I thought we really defended well, which I suppose going to Ibrox is always going to probably be the most important thing. And see what you can do up front, which we did absolutely nothing. Let's be fucking honest.
Yeah.
If I had a shot, I can't remember it. On target.
There's no shots. I think there was one. I think somebody said there was one shot in target, or one shot actually together for Celtic in the first half.
Apart from obviously the goal that I still think was very harshly ruled offside, really harsh. And I've watched it a few times. Still think it's pretty tight. So as good as I'm going to start flip it actually as no. I have to say as poor as we were in the final third, we were equally as good at the back. And as I say, I don't know about any of you watching it, or obviously you're at the game, Hoggy, as was I. I didn't really any time feel, obviously a team could score a goal against you any time, but I felt very relaxed that anything they put into our box, either the centre halves were dealing with or the keeper was coming collecting. And they just kept piling balls in. Our Rangers are fucking shite, aren't they? Let's be absolutely honest.
Yeah,
I mean, that's a team lacking 8 players. That Celtic team. So we've got a reason. I bet we've got 8 reasons to turn around and say, right, okay. And that's not including the quality that we know we already need to add on top of the 8 players. But we've got many reasons to say, right, we were struggling with injuries. I mean, all your captains are missing. Match winners are missing. Experienced players are missing. Best centre halves missing. One of your best fullbacks is missed, although I think that's as bad a hit because of the guy that's taken off him now. Midfield didn't work at all in the first half. I thought Luke McCowan was not just singling him out. But by the way, how good was Rio Hatate?
Yeah,
it was fucking brilliant.
There's a couple of names I've got there, Paul, for to put a wee spotlight on the night. So let's jump in and do that.
I'm bad for that. Yeah.
While you're on the subject as well, there was the spotlight that I wanted to shine the night is on Luke McCowan, and I wanted to put it on Hatate as well, because we spoke about Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain and Callum McGregor. Can he really? They've not shown that they can play in that same team together. Now, if you're thinking as well, then McGregor goes out automatically in my head. I'm like, what the fuck's the matter with Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain then? Should I thought that he's the natural replacement for that? But I was a bit surprised, Andy, to see Luke McCowan starting that in front of Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, given the quality we know that Oxlade-Chamberlain has got. He's not quite shown it yet, but I thought that would have been tailor-made for him just to come in and replace Cal.
I think overall, I think he's maybe thinking he's not going to last the whole game. I think he's went with McCowan maybe a wee bit more kind of energetic, I think maybe. Yeah. And then as it goes, he's thought about bringing the Ox on a wee bit later on. Not necessarily for a fresh pair of legs as such, but more the experienced head, to see a game out kind of thing. I think that's probably that's his thing. Personally, I think you're better playing your better players at the start of the game and try and get a kind of head start if you can. Yeah. And you manage the game for there. I hate the idea of, maybe leave some experienced players out to the end and when you could be actually chasing it, which makes it even harder. So personally, with Cal Mac out, I would have went with the Ox. But listen, Martin, one thing you can say for Martin, and you can talk about the quality of this squad, but one thing he's got this squad is a great team spirit they've got. And incidentally, that's what he had in his very first time with Celtic. Anytime you see any of the guys talking about that era was the team spirit in the dressing room, and the camaraderie, and he seems to galvanise teams that way. And just as you mentioned before, you can tell they've run through brick walls for Martin O'Neill, and he's getting every ounce out of them that he possibly can. But just touching on the point you were making there, I think that the Oxford probably would have been most people's choices, so that was a wee bit of a surprise, I suppose. And McCowan, having known about McCowan, he's not the best at retaining the ball at times. He really gives it away quite badly. He has done all season.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you would say that he got pass marks yesterday or no. I'm not quite sure.
No for me, Andy.
No.
If we started to go down that list and say, right, who get pass marks yesterday and who didn't, I think, Paul, you called it at the start. Defensively, I think we get pass marks in there as well. But other than that, we weren't alive in the attacking phase at all. So it's like, how can you give somebody pass marks when you've had no fucking attack at all that game?
I thought Hatate actually done well and lasted the whole game and extra time and ended up taking a penalty. So
Andy, I thought it was brilliant. I thought it was fucking brilliant. The amount of times he took
I'm being harsh there, actually. I think attacking phase as well. No really could put Hatate in the attack, but I'm harsh there, sorry. Sorry, I think I was just a big rude cunt there and cut everybody off with that. Paul, you were talking about Hatate there. What did you think of Hatate's performance yesterday then?
I thought it was outstanding, Foggy. I thought it was fucking outstanding. I thought he's everything that Andy's just said about McCowan, ball attention. Hatate, I can't mind him losing the ball. He was taking balls. He was taking balls in difficult areas of the pitch. He was showing himself to some big tackles, and he always looked a threat when he was on the ball. But more importantly, he was showing that quality that he showed last week, which was just finding that wee bit of time to get a look up, get the heat up, take the ball on the half turn, or get it played and spin, and away we went. And unfortunately, there wasn't much on for him because we were so poor in the final third. But I thought he dominated the midfield the whole game. Best player on the probably trusted would probably be a shout for the best player. But I thought he was just. Honestly, it's the Rio Hatate that we've spoken about in here many a time, that we've said that on his game is the best player at the club, which makes him the best player in the country. And he was that yesterday. I just thought it was brilliant, and everything he'd done. If somebody could tell me, that's Franny, you're spot on. The way he takes that ball on and uses his body, he just the amount of times he got that ball played with his back to your end, if it was in obviously whatever half we were in, and he was just getting away from his man and getting a ball out wide and just controlling the game. I thought he controlled the middle of the park. I thought he was absolutely fantastic. And I said that a couple of weeks ago. If we need to go in and win this league, we need to hope, because a lot of people had completely written Rio Hatate off, and understandably so. There was a mountain of evidence as to why that was the case. It was poor performance after poor performance, lacklustre, no looking interested. And I think in the last few weeks he's got back to where he should be. And if we want to win this league, obviously we can do as we mate Dyson up his levels a bit as well, because if they two do, then it seriously increases your chances of winning this league. And so far, one's certainly performing. Maida, I think, still pretty poor, but Rio, probably about 9 out of 10 for me yesterday. Hoggy, he was that good.
I think it was a different type of Rio performance. Before, if you're talking what's Rio Hatate really, really good at, it was always that kind of attacking phase. It's the picking players, it's the driving stuff. I think he showed the other part of his game where it was more on the physical side of it. So I think he done really, really well there. Again, I would agree that the midfield actually done all right. Well, McCowan, I would say no. Nygren again gave you a Nygren performance. It was all about the place, but didn't really do much.
You know what, Hoggy? I said this almost as much as I was telling him that time when I was with you at the game, and they got about how we getting beat. Yesterday, my cry was to anybody that would listen. I've never seen such a. This is a problem, by the way. I've never seen such a lightweight Celtic team. Such a team that's easily bullied off the ball. And I know this is morning after we've just beat the Huns in the quarter final, but we're very lightweight, so lightweight, and that's just when you mentioned Nygren. I think he was. I thought he was better than he was the week previous, but it's. I mean, there you go. You're going in there with 2 or 3 midfielders just not up to scratch yesterday, and you're still coming away with a win. So fucking great result. It's a brilliant result. It really is a brilliant result. The performance, the game was fucking awful. The performance wasn't great. Again, less the half a dozen or so players I've mentioned defensively and in real midfield. But it's a fucking fantastic result, and they're fucking got it. They're broken, man. So, as you could see at the end, they're not happy.
And I'll get to that bit as well, because I watched something earlier on the day, and it was a Polish woman, some Polish bird as well, talking about it, and I thought as well that's interesting. So we'll get that going there as well. But it was, what the fuck would I got to say there?
Just follow that in, Hoggy. Just how shite is Mavuka?
He's worse than a man short. That's how shite.
Honestly,
I heard the story that he's actually got a twin brother, and I don't know if that's
Andy. I'm not joking. Right?
I think it's a twin brother that doesn't play football at all. That's actually went to Celtic.
Andy, I say this with you, and this is going to sound fucking mental, right? I'm 53-year-old, remember. I don't think I could have done any worse than what he done yesterday, and I mean that. You couldn't have done any worse. He couldn't control the ball. It was the chasing back.
Yeah.
It was the fucking. It just looked like. I mean, I'm sorry, like, but thank fuck we've not bought that lad, and thank fuck that I don't think we should ever see him again.
Even the way that he actually just stood and tried to take the ball in and tried to kind of turn and transition and run, you're like, that guy's he just doesn't look like a football player. And it's like, whoever scouted that fucker for however long they scouted him for and brought him in there, because I can't ever remember us being linked with this guy before. It's like, oh, we've got this guy caught in Booker. So yeah, I think you're right, Paul, as well. Thank Christ we've no actually got a buy clause in his contract as well. So it's a case of see you later on, Sani. But I think for the team yesterday, we're saying probably there's 2, maybe 3 of them that I think absolutely showed that they're not class at the class that we need, even for a Celtic squad, which for me would have been McCowan and Yang. I think McCowan's performance as well, where he gave his heart, he gave his effort as well, but it was minimal. And Yang, I thought sometimes he flatters to deceive a wee bit, but yesterday I thought he was fucking goddamn awful. There was a couple of instances as well where he's got the ball and just literally gave it away. There's a couple of times you're saying, Paul, as well, he's been brushed off too easily. Enough. Absolutely enough for me as well. So 2 players yesterday, I would say they need to go in the summer, as well as a few other ones, mind you. But McCowan for me and Yang for me shouldn't see a Celtic team again.
See, the thing is, Hoggy, you know, when you're playing in a game like that and it's not quite happening for you up front, you need your attacking players to at least put a shift in defensively. You don't get that for Yang. You certainly don't get that for Yang. I think, you know, it's bits and parts. You're getting a wee bit of a flare out of him. Again, with a kind of attitude of Hatate a good few months back, or even a bit longer before that, that kind of I'll play when I decide to play kind of thing. And you simply can't put your trust in players like that. They don't give you enough. I mean, think about it, you know, Yang shouldn't even be here. You know, he was out the club and the fucking bungee corded him right back up the road again. So, you know, they've already decided his quality-wise isn't good enough for us, but that's the situation we're in. That our recruitment has been so bad that we are still having to hold on to players like Hatate, who is actually in the last few games showed his quality, but Yang, who just doesn't fucking put a shift in when it comes to defensive work at all. Against it in games like that, as I said, if you can't do the business up front, at least put a shift in, help the guys out at the back that need help too. And he certainly never done that. And just touching on that, and Vicar, I would send him back, you know. I wouldn't even keep him to the end of the season. I'd just send him back, you know. Honestly, I would have been quite happy to take him off and not put anybody else on his place, because I think it was a distraction for any time. I would rather try and galvanise as with a man down than actually put up with somebody like that. It's like a player walking about with a fucking blow up doll fucking walking beside him. I mean, it's just honestly one of the worst performances I've ever seen for a Celtic player.
You know what I didn't understand there, right? As why not put Sriracha there?
Exactly. I know he's a left back, but surely he's a better option.
Oh, Andy, I'm sticking with what I said earlier. I'm a fucking better option at my age.
Yeah,
I was the Saturday player.
That's what really got me more than anything, Paul. Was that
Andy
Sriracha was still on the bench?
You know mate. I just thought it just didn't look. It doesn't look like a football player.
Nope.
There is nothing about him at all that looks like a football player. You think that you come into the game and first couple of touches didn't really work for you, right? Fair enough, feel yourself into the game. But he was looking about him, he had no positional sense, he didn't know what was going on about him. He was running and then stopped him, and then when he got the ball, it just looked as though he didn't play football. That's the only way I can describe him. He didn't look as though he's ever played football.
Yeah. It looked terrible, and I'm glad that somebody's actually. There's a wee chat on the comments there the as well about Snake Mountain in Castle Grayskull. It's always puzzled me why folk call Ibrox Castle Grayskull.
Yeah, I know it.
Because that was Seaman's Palace. Fucking hell. Snake Mountain, because that's where the orcs and fucking dead folk live. Zombie fucks. Anyway.
Yeah, it's all good, boy.
We've had our wee chat about the stuff. I suppose the non-important stuff I'd say now as well. Team selections, all that stuff as well, because at the bin is basically as soon as the team fucking walks off.
Let's get the penalties and fighting.
Let's get the penalties going as well. So I've not seen anything, to be fair, as well. When I came home yesterday, I was half pissed. I got fully pissed. And the day I've not even put fucking 2 sentences together properly the day as well, because I'm a rough man. But I've not watched any of the game at all. I watched it during the week.
Well, the 2 goals that were in that game, that was absolute fucking one of the worst games I think I've ever seen in my life. You've got the goal for Maida. It's a no cone for Scales. It goes to VAR. Now, the angle that you see is just fucking pathetic. They're guessing again. You know, we've got a system that isn't fit for purpose. You know, if it's no obvious, they can't prove it. How can you overturn it? It's simply a guessing game. Now, it might possibly be offside, but you know, you can't tell for the angle they've got. I think if you've got the same system you've got down south, VAR can work, because I've got the proper investment in it. You get the right system, and the evidence is there. You can't really argue against it. But ours is simply guessing games all the time with this VAR system. It's really getting beyond a joke. Anybody, you could say you get your green tinted glasses on, but can you positively say that he's absolutely offside with the angles you've seen, no matter how many lines I've drawn? It's very, very difficult to say. So, you know, it's a very strange decision for me. Touching on the Rangers goal, it's very, very obvious for that, you know. It's a Maradona-esque palm into the goal. So that was always going to get chalked off. Our goal getting chalked off for offside is very sketchy, in my opinion.
And the thing is with that, Andy, right? You're right, saying there's no denying it. Seen it. I mean, I was in the back row of the bottom tier of the Broom Loan, right at the back. And it's perfect. I didn't even get a sweat really when they scored. And I was pissing myself laughing at them all on the park, and the players out, that wee rat bastard. What's his name? The Belgian cunt.
Raskin. Amish the
well,
Wolf.
And I knew it was well, you could never rely on VAR, I suppose, but it was patently obvious, I think, that it was that right away that it was a handball. But I just think I don't think you can call that the one we got called off. But they do. They always call it. And very, very rarely they call it in their favour. I'm like you, Andy, I don't think it's definitive. And should that not then go in the way of the attacker, if that's the case?
You'd imagine so, but you know, it's Celtic at Ibrox. So you know, you talk about stuff.
Andy, I'm saying when they scored that I felt very, very relaxed. And I was getting on that to their support before even it was announced it was checked, because I was like, that's a clear handball.
The thing is, Paul, it's only if there's a clear and obvious error that they should overturn that. So can you again? I've not seen it as well, but can you say that it was clear and obvious error that the on-field decision has been proven as an error?
No, they can't possibly get they're guessing with the lines. The way the angle is and the players are lined up, you've got absolutely no idea what position that fucking third Rangers players fit is in, or Aram or whatever you want to call it. You can't tell for that angle. So that's what I'm saying. They're guessing now. So it's no clear and obvious because you can't fucking prove otherwise. It's a guess. So, you know, that there wasn't a decision to be overturned there, in my opinion. That's how I'm saying it.
I totally agree with you, Andy. I've watched it a few times now. I don't think how anybody can. Well, I do because it's fucking $100, isn't it? It was in the VAR room, so there's your answer. Yeah, it's like if in doubt, call it off with us. And
what the Huns one, Andy? Was the Huns one a bad decision, or were they spot on?
No, clear on board.
That was spot on. I actually had his on, but it was close to his chest, I think, or his arm. But there was actually two potential handballs. The second one was clear. I mean, yeah, there's no way you could. As soon as you seen the replay, you're like, that's not going to count. They simply couldn't deny that. No. It was really obvious.
Yeah, and Hoggy, as I said, Hoggy, I've seen it for as I say, I'm in the back row, so you've got no bad view looking down, and obviously right away he called it, and as did everybody around about us, but. I was very confident, so much so that we were laughing at them running about celebrating, knowing it was going to be called off. But you know what I mean? You can never.
There's a bit there, Paul. Sorry to jump in again, mate, Bazil, but there's a bit there that when you seen them all fucking celebrating, and we're talking about that wee bastard Raskin, and it was let's see the way that if I've scored for Rangers or if I've scored for Celtic against they fuckers as well, I'm not going anywhere near their fans. Yeah. I'm tailing down and going down to Celtic fans. That wee guy was standing in front of the full stand, holding his balls that the way Arajo did the last week. This like, you're enticing little shit. I'm not saying it's his fault for all the stuff that happened there as well, but it's like, I'd love to have ran on and actually hit my fucking punch square in the balls, the wee fanny. Absolutely.
The Rangers fans invaded.
That's the dream, innit? That's the dream.
They came on the park when they scored.
Aye. Yeah, a load of them.
Aye.
So that kind of did. That kind of did for what happened. But we'll discuss that, and there's aye, I've got a couple of views on that, but
we'll get there. We'll get there. But I think you're right. I think there's a level of some people would have got really, really riled up, and I'm saying that I'd have loved to have done this as well. But on the day when I'm standing in Ibrox as well, it didn't bother me really. It was like you're a fucking wee fanny, but there was folk getting after nut. I'm sitting thinking, guys, that's exactly what he's wanting there, but. We'll talk about the afters after the kind of game there as well. But Andy, was there anything else that anybody would have missed for the game that was a clear and obvious error? Because I've heard a couple of people say to me as well that the referee and VAR supposedly had a brilliant weekend at the Celtic Rangers game.
Oh, did they?
Supposedly, that's what I've
heard. The referee had an absolute fucking shocker, to be honest with you. The only thing VAR got right really is, from my point of view, is the Rangers goal getting disallowed. They certainly get that right. Don Robertson certainly is one of the referees you can fling into the tainted basket when it comes to, you know, decisions made on for a biased mind. He's up there, certainly. You know, a lot of his decisions yesterday were just an absolute joke, and that's. We've spoken about it many times, that it's pure blatant, it's right in front of your face, and they don't give a fuck, you know, whether you like it or no. It's been happening for decades upon decades. Yeah. Maybe you notice it more now because VAR is in place, and there's all sorts of different camera angles. You're getting to see replays 5, 6, and 7 times at things, and it makes you more aware that he's a fucking cheating bastard. And yet you can find just about the majority of referees in there as well. I don't care what MD says; they're fucking cheats. It's as simple as that.
It's maybe a jump to go and say cheats, but I think you can't.
No,
see if it's once or twice, Andy. I think once or twice as well. It's not right.
Okay, see if you're making a decision on a biased fucking basis and making something that it isn't, then you're a fucking cheat. So you're cheating to make that decision that suits the narrative.
Yeah. Fair
and
play,
I think it's officiated to a different standard. I think it is, and I think what they do is exactly what they done yesterday. Any opportunity, kind of, if it's nip and tuck, if it's one of the ones. I seen that, they fucking scumbag bastards, man.
In a way, Andy, you're right though, because if they're manipulating the general or the correct outcome of a decision as well, then it is cheating. Let's be honest with you as well. So
Listen, before the past, right? Before I heard the audio, where the referee's waiting for a decision, he's getting their opinion, VAR office opinion on what they're saying. They're not saying, go and have a look at us and see what you think yourself. They're saying, go and have a look at us because we think fucking blah, blah, blah has done this, which has led to this. So the thoughts are already put into his mind. Now, all they need to do is, listen, I think you need to go and look at this again. And don't fucking say a word to him. Just the instant, have a look at this instant. Your opinion doesn't matter. Yeah. You know, you're there to factually check something with the replays. No try and intimidate the referee into making that decision that he might not be comfortable making. You see them at these screens, and especially at Hearts, the fans are right in their fucking face. You try to tell me that they're not affected with that. They've got voices in their head for these people at the VAR office as well, that they can twist and turn things to make him make a decision that he might not necessarily agree with in the first place.
Franny, I don't know if it's my heart or me, mate, to be fair as well, but I think Paul's got a dodgy Wi-Fi tonight, brother. I was just about to bring in Paul there for the rant stuff as well, because it's referee decisions aside, team lines aside, result aside. I think the one thing everybody's wanted to kind of chime in with tonight, Andy, is our interpretation or opinion on the events that happened at the fucking end of that game. The lassie, who I think she's like chief constable or something like that, if that's the right name for the position, in Scotland, said that what you had there yesterday was a set of fans caught up in the euphoria of a decision and a set of fans caught up in the rage of the decision, or not a decision as well, and part of play. Obviously, Chwanchara scores the penalty, puts Celtic through. Euphoria.
Yep.
Them running on the park to challenge that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's Celtic's name that's getting dragged through the fucking mud today for that. Celtic's name that's getting dragged through. Remember Rangers was it no fucking, who was it? It was some shite team. Livingston.
Partick Thistle.
Last season. There was about fucking 300 of them that jumped on the park at Livingston. It's just it's that double standard thing there as well, that if everybody was held to the same level of consistency on what you're doing, then fine. But don't start putting narratives out there as well that just blatantly isn't true. But listen, we'll get there. I had a front row seat, mate. I had an absolute front row seat.
I'd love to hear, because obviously you were right where everything happened. What was your point of view, how that all occurred? There's
a bit of me that's saying that there's devil in both ends of it. I think the intent of Celtic was not to cause panic or cause fights or anything like that. I think it was to gloat. With Rangers' attempts as well was then the challenge, then the violence that came in there. There was one wee guy that ran by me, Celtic fan. He was up at the Huns like that. And it was like, right, enough, right, okay. But then they all started coming out, and literally, I'm the same row B, they were out the wall, fucking throwing punches at us. One wee guy, I'll send the video to you, Andy. One wee guy made his belt after the Celtic and started fucking lashing folk with it.
I seen it.
I was in that video. You can see me in that video. It's fucking mental. Absolutely mental.
I totally agree with you, Hoggy. You know, that's what's in celebration of Celtic, you know, winning the game.
Sorry, lads, I'm not sure what's happening with my internet.
You're all good,
right. Celtic winning the game. Now, you've got to ask yourself, if Celtic still celebrated with it coming on the park, I can almost guarantee you that they are still kicking off. That the Rangers fans are still going to try and get to the Celtic fans. No matter what, if they come on the park or didn't come on the park, because they simply, I mean, it's been 8 years since you've had a full Celtic crowd in there. And guess what happened the last time they were there? They had a party as well, you know, and that's why they stopped it. So that these wee guys, who they are, this whole Onion Bears, whatever they are, they're not used to seeing a big crowd in the Range Stadium, like Celtic fans celebrating and they can't handle it, and this is their reaction. I'm convinced that they would have tried their very best to get the Celtic fans, whether they spilled onto the park or no.
Yeah. No, I think you're right there, Andy. It's one to see just how many different areas that the Rangers fans came from, because the Union Bears were the opposite end of fucking Snake Mountain. They've ran right across where I was storing, and it's now sometimes when you're looking at people and you can just see it in their face and their eyes and that's there's a bit of fucking evil in that cunt there.
Yeah.
Whether that's just Huns in general, mind you, as well, but there was so many different people that if you're going to a game of football as well, right, you can do the shouting and you can do all the slagging and stuff like that. But I'm sitting there thinking as well, your lives are consumed by your fucking hatred.
Mm-hmm.
The very nature is exactly that.
That's what you're talking about for your point of view, Foggy. Then you go to just the opposite side of the park where that guy runs on the park and attacks. I remember the coaching staff's rolling about the flare with him. Yeah. Then the players are starting to go up. No, that's my issue. See, when it comes to all the stuff you've seen for the tunnel, that tunnel pulls out. Why is it not being pulled out? When they all know all that's going on and they're going to get hassled as they're walking in, why is that tunnel?
Their supporters were stopping it getting pulled out.
I know, I've seen that, but they should have insisted in getting that tunnel. That was an important thing as well. And incidentally, that chief superintendent, whatever the fucking name is, comes on and seems to think they've done a great job. Now, whether it's down to cost or whatever, there's more stewards there than there is police, right? On one of the Glasgow derbies there's been for many a year at that ship pit. I didn't see a lot of police. Maybe outside now when you're getting.
Oh, can I get onto that?
I was going to line you up with that there, Pierre.
Just let me finish this because I think it's important. I think it's important that you mention that, by the way, because it's vitally important. It just kind of takes me back to Hillsborough, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Not that I was there, but obviously the whole kind of stramash. Like that. The stewards here that don't give a flying fuck, they're on about £8 an hour if you're lucky. There's very few police there as well. And I think the organisation, when they see the Celtic fans coming on, put it this way, right? See when Celtic have had like 700 and whatever fans in that corner, I've seen more stewards and police there fucking segregating that section and than I've seen in the whole stadium on Sunday. So they're failed big time. You can put the blame on guys running on the park and whatever, but it's their job to make the place secure, and they've failed to do that, I think.
Well, even before we get into Ibrox, even before you step through the fucking the turnstiles, me and Paul, the boys for our buses, were walking down, and it just stopped. What the fuck's happened here? Just stopped. Thousands of people on the road, and they've kettled every cunt in as well, and it's one wee gate that's basically there. And they'd stopped.
And
they narrowed it in as well. They stopped thousands of people from progressing as well, because when we went up to the guys and said, why were you doing that? They say it's because there was a lot of people attending that are going to the front gates without a ticket. And it's like, well, if you're going to kettle everybody into one wee fucking thing as well, then maybe think about opening another one up further down to get it, because it was absolutely honking. Fucking disgraceful. Go ahead, Paul. Go ahead, brother.
No, just walking exactly what you're saying. We bumped into you, having a nice walk down to the walk. I think we were just going to walk up that fucking towards the ground, and it just bang, stop. And then, of course, that's keeping piling up at the back. There was a wee, I think we got split up a wee bit into it. There was a Darby's wee lassie. Wee lassie was greeting, you know what I mean? Because she was getting squashed.
Yeah.
And when you just turned the corner, everybody, and then obviously then people's tensions are starting to rise, because kind of look for didn't like being in these sorts of tight, compact areas. Simple as that. And it brings on stress. I mean, I'm not a fan of I'm pretty claustrophobic myself. So I didn't particularly like being crammed in with no knowing when I'm going to get moving. And there was just an impasse for 10 minutes, maybe longer, Hoggy.
We'd say about 20 minutes probably, Paul. 20 minutes. Well, what I would say is, for me, it wasn't that bad that it was like you're back to back. You were still, there wasn't that much of a push going on, but when you used to involved in the Celtic Park, man, we had a few years ago.
Okay, it got a bit like that. It must have been, we were, it got a bit like that.
I was in the middle of that.
Like that. You know what I mean? That way you're like, well, I can't go anywhere if I wanted to go anywhere. And that's not a very good feel for a lot of people.
And
as you got through, eventually, everybody, myself very much included, I'm like, what the fuck are these bastards doing? What sort of plan is that? It's dangerous, it's counterproductive, because we've seen everybody sneaked in anyway.
Yeah.
But how about fucking putting the resources on the turnstiles so that nobody gets near a turnstile with a ticket? No, I'm not saying that I've got an issue with anybody doubling up with that. I've no. But if your priority is to stop people getting in without tickets, then that is failed. That fails.
Yeah.
Because people are getting through there, as you've seen it happened, and then rush a gate. I don't know what gate it was. I think it might be one of the disabled gates or something. So they've gotten through the first part of it. Now, surely the resources would be. There was hundreds of police standing about, just making it awkward and difficult to get anywhere near the turnstiles. And I fucking hate the police. I really do. And because you're saying, and what the fuck? And they're just getting these smug smiles. I said to this policeman, I said, what the fuck are you smiling at? What are you smiling at? There's folk down there really shrugging, you fucking wanker. You know what I mean? And you're fucking smiling at me. So you're a fucking useless bastard. A lot of these are. The horses, there is none more fucking useless and pointless at a game of football than a police horse. Fuck knows what they're ever meant to do. Because all the days make you feel the crowd control, but surely fucking is mental. I've never understood the concept of horses at the football. But it's mad. But and then you go to the ticket check, which folk got through, obviously they bother, because we've seen later on what happened. Yep. But that was the smugness of the bastards. It's like let's be honest, the majority of police are hun bastards. Let's call it as it is. Any policeman I know is a hun bastard, right? Mm-hmm. And that'll be reflected in a high percentage of hun bastards in the police. So, and you can see it in their face. You can see it in their fucking face. I say, when I'm saying this, I say, mate, what's fucking going on? Can look in front of me and say, listen, this. He just smacked me. I said, what are you fucking smacking at your prick? You know what I mean? I would start to be actually getting in jail, to be honest with you. But go through, and then it doesn't work. What they've put in place does not work. All it's done is it's made people feel really uncomfortable. It's made people feel anxious, tension before you even get to the gate. And then you get to the turnstiles. And I remember the old days of Ibrox, when you're showing down the Broomlawn Road, swinging a left in the big bit at the back, picking your turnstile, joining the queue, and then you went. Ken, no fucking hassle. Ken, even the turnstile, I don't know, but your turnstile's hoggy. I wish that, by the way, Goldmire for Dennis. Let's not go down that road. If you look at the footage, it's not just the Green Brigade, it's Green Brigade there. There's many other fans that are storming the gates as well. Celtic supporters that stormed the gates, mate. Yeah. Celtic supporters stormed the gates. Look at the footage. Yeah. Yes, there's the Green Brigade jackets, but there's plenty no. So Celtic supporters that stormed the gates. Let's not try
that's an easy thing to throw at them, though, Paul, isn't it? That's obviously Green Brigade.
Listen, mate, I'm not going to come on here and be all Mr. Health and Safety and all that, right? But I've got an issue with folks sneaking into the football. I've done it myself. You know what I mean? But I mean, it was clearly obvious. It was clearly obvious that I don't know about, again, where you were, Hoggy, but where we were and trying to get down the stairs. Towards the end of the game. Yes, towards the end of the game, try to get down the stairs towards the end of the game. To join in the celebrations, I would say. Yeah. It took me about 10-15 minutes, man, because it was so
because I was literally the bottom corner, row B, the very fucking last seat before the Huns. So I think we were one of the last ones out, but we were upstairs, so we had to go up the stairs to get to the kind of central bit before going back down.
Yeah, so listen, whatever they put in place yesterday just completely failed. All it done was antagonised a lot of people and was not fit for purpose. And again, it's like everything else in this world. If whatever you've planned is your job and that you've got a big job to do in regards to safety and getting people into the ground and whatnot, then they failed miserably. And like everything else, there should be accountability for that, but there never is, because they're standing there not giving a fuck. Yeah. All they're doing is preventing you from moving into areas that you want to move into to be more comfortable, because they're stopping you, they're blocking you, they're stopping you moving. And then, as I say, kind of times, I got into the ground and I was a bit fucking angry. So I was already fucking quite frustrated. You're already a bit nervous about the game anyway.
Yeah.
Then you go through that rigmarole and you're arrived in a bit of fucking attitude. You've got that natural nervousness running through you anyway. And that anxiety that gets added on top of that. And it all tied in for me. The police are antagonising bastards.
Yeah.
They really are. Instead of
preventing... Is it true that they've used the same system that they would normally use for, say, 750 fans?
Yes, Andy, exactly the same. Exactly the same.
More recently.
Exactly. How could you believe...
So a system that would normally filter 750 to 2,000 Celtic fans through this bottleneck, they're now trying to fit 8,000 people through it, or 7,500 people through it.
Well, Andy,
it's not going to fit.
You know yourself, you've been to Ibrox before, you can go on for two ends. Can you? But the Broomlawn Road was the main end you went in. Earlier in the boot, and big, massive car park at the back. That was never anything other than easy to navigate. And it's exactly what they've done, Andy. They've done the exact same thing, pretty much. Might be slightly wider when you're going through the ticket check, and that'll be I don't think we have to worry about the 7,500 ever again. To be fair, I don't think that'll be an issue moving forward. But no, I just really disappointed. I know, Alice, it's a fucking nonsense, mate, honestly. So listen, it's probably going to be my last time back at Ibrox, maybe ever.
I think it'll be everybody's last time at Ibrox, Paul. That is fucking killed that higher allocation did. Absolutely.
Well, by the way, as I said in the bus yesterday, if you go out, go in a bang.
Absolutely. I think it's one of life's all about stories, and I think that's one story we can take to your grandwains as well. I was there, and Celtic fans were last in fucking Snake Mountain. But before we get to that bit as well, I just wanted to. I've not spoke one word yet about our charity giveaway. Go all written down there. So anyway, guys, obviously on Friday we launched the fact that we're doing a charity raffle, and I posted up on all the socials about the charity raffle. £5 per ticket. The prizes that I'd say to you on Friday we've got is a signed Celtic top, Henrik Larsson wall print, Benjamin Negrin portrait, and 3 prints from Gio Thompson. Through our friends, we are getting some Celtic retro tops coming from Shug at Boys and Tour, and also I think Martin Morell has managed to get us some tickets for Richard Ashcroft. So again, it's another fantastic prize as well they've been giving in there, guys. So it's no a difficult thing to do, guys, as well. And actually, I did get the word back from Just Giving today. They knocked me back for a Just Giving page because I'd put in that there was raffles in it that were given away, and it was all for raffles. So not allowed to do that, supposedly. So what we're going to do, guys, is if you're interested in getting involved in it, please send an email to cspodcast2025@gmail.com. I'll pick it up, or one of the other boys will pick it up, and we'll give you a bank account as well to send the tickets to. I have had 3 of our members, 3 of our viewers have reached out, and we have got raffle tickets sitting with these guys now. So I've basically got the raffle tickets, sent them a picture of that, and those are ready to go into the pot there. Through where I've put the raffles out to between Kieran Tierney Club, Notre Dame Sports Club, and the other kind of things, I think we're probably about £300 or £400 already raised in there, and that's
I'll get it on your bus, Hoggy. I missed Friday. I'll get it on your.
So that's without your bus, Paul. That's without really the kind of CSP really kind of picking up and getting involved there. Guys, I'm hoping to add more prizes as we go for this as well. So there's a couple of weeks to go, or a week and Friday actually. It'll be. I'm hoping to get a Kieran Tierney signed top. That will be one of the prizes. It just might not be way for the Friday. It will be one of the prizes that we're going to give as a signed Kieran Tierney. And James Wiper, thank you very much, brother. I went up to see James on Saturday and I picked that jersey up as well. So we'll get Kieran to sign that. Nice. That's going in the pot. I'm trying to look about to see if I've got anything else I can put in there. But guys, if you are interested and want to support this fantastic charity, Chrissy's House charity, please send an email in to cspodcast2025@gmail.com. One is will pick it up, give you the bank details, send the money in, we'll look at it again in there, and then we'll send you your raffle tickets. That raffle prize will be drawn live a week on Friday, 7:30 p.m. on YouTube, Celtic Supporters Podcast. We're giving away some fucking fantastic stuff. There we are. Thank you very much for everybody. Vincey, Kez, and Stephanie. And Stephanie, new member tonight, seen that, pal? Thank you very much. Yes, so there we are. Paul.
Yes, mate.
The fourth penalty goes in. Svanchara scores it. Euphoria. Talk to me after that. Talk to me after that, mate.
I'll say I wasn't in the back row after that, is what I'm going to say. But aye, listen, we'd already seen with their goal that the stewarding and the police didn't fit for purpose at Ibrox. Simple as that. Simple as that. It's fucking the pile done already. And that's when Raskin's getting all that shite. I will do Chubb. I'll give you a phone after this, actually, big, and I missed your phone last night. Fucking get it up the country. I got your message up. So Raskin's done all that part. And I haven't got an issue with that. I would do it myself. You're saying you would run to the Celtic fans, so would I eventually, Hoggy, but that's after I gave them it fucking stinking. And then I'd go to the Celtic fans. But depending where I was in the ground, on the park. So there's already sort of precedent for them coming in the park. So what I didn't understand is there's two areas of the ground that the police have to, along with stewards, have to make watertight, basically, particularly going at the end of a penalty shootout. And it's probably right along the bottom of their end, and they're right along the bottom of their opposite stand, because I don't think you're going to get too much more than what came on for the left-hand side hands, should they have won. And I don't think you'd have got any of their fans if we'd got beat. I don't think you'd have got any of their fans. And when we all went in the park, well, can I give myself away there? But when the fans went in the park, it was genuinely to celebrate.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a big difference. It was listen, I know, hands up, you shouldn't do it. Okay, I mean, we all know that. But when people go to the park, remember these cunts have got serious previous for this.
Mm-hmm.
The hands. So we move it on the park. Is that if I could? I was going to say if I could put myself in their hooves for a second. Fuck, I'm not going to say that. The thought it disgusts me. But if I could see if I could, there's no way I could put this week to go for a shower after it. Just if I could see it from their point of view or whatever, and I just can't because they're just poison. But if it was the other way around, it's probably the best way to put it. I kind of get why if I've seen that they come on the park, they come on the park, almost on the park when they scored the third goal at Celtic Park. Where you go, you daft bastard. Fucking hell. A fucking grip of yourself. Fucking let's just be daft. Fucking be stupid, man.
I thought I would get that reaction, Paul.
Aye, that's all it is, daft. Sorry, but just a daft bastard coming to something like that. Anyway, back to reality. So, obviously, move it on the park. Now, what I will say is I kind of get what the next reaction would be for it. Because first and foremost, remember who you're dealing with.
Yeah.
First and foremost. And for everything Andy said at the start, but their end should have been watertight. Their end should have been water fucking tight. Not got in that part. They'd every opportunity to do that. And if they'd put in the type of operation that they put outside the ground and made it as difficult as it was to get into the ground, to get on the pitch, problem solved. So it's another complete and utter operational failure. Complete failure. So
especially that particular area in that Copeland.
Exactly, Andy. You just need to area
where the biggest threat.
Andy, two lines, Stewards and Polis, two lines back to back, job done. Yeah. So anyway, I mean, I had to laugh because I mean, obviously they've sprinted doing as they do with their mad wee blue fucking Smurf hats on. And come down all intentions, run charging down until they got to near enough the police that they could stop, and then went all that. A few got through, and there was a few fisticuffs and whatnot, but nothing. It was fucking handbags. Let's be honest. And I just think, I mean, first of all, it's to be expected for them. We've seen it in the cup final against Hibs. They're just, I mean, apart from just being nasty people, they're really bad losers. So, in particular, Andy says you've got the 8-year thing, you've got the fact that this was going to be their season up to a couple of weeks ago. They were going to beat us last Sunday in the league. We were going to beat us this Sunday, and we were going to beat the league, and they were going to be rolling towards the league and the Scottish Cup. Yep. Now, the league's far from done for any of us. We're all still in the same position we were with the league.
I think, Paul, that's a really good point you're making there, because I think the last week, but Andy, I'll come to you for this one. Guys, I was actually just in getting my pom-poms out. I am going to add something else in. There's a prize there. This has never been worn before. You've got a tricolor, black, and you've got the pom-pom as well. So that's getting into the prizes for the charity raffle.
Good, man.
And you had one that I had no before. But, Andy, obviously, yesterday's game was progression in the cup. It's got nothing to do with the league. But thinking of these last two Rangers games, right? 2 draws ultimately. You've got a draw last week and you've got a draw this week as well, but we're going through in penalties. Do you think that will have a big impact on the bearing of Scottish Cup? You're looking at that. Have you got Dunfermline, St Mirren and Falkirk as your opposition there as well? You should counter that. But do you think a result like yesterday, getting through in penalties, will have an impact or a positive impact on Celtic's league campaign?
Well, you'd hope it would have. It gives them, I think we spoke about it earlier, saying it just shows absolute team spirit. So it shows you that they're up for the fight, which is required, with the last games remaining. If we've not got quality, we're not going to get the perfect performance, but at least we know we're going to get a fight out of a team who have had a very, very topsy-turvy season when you consider injuries. The fact we've had 3 different managers this season, one of them on 2 occasions. That's a big change for players when you talk about the way they play, and managers finding out who fits into their team and who doesn't. Really finding out about players. So, and then you look at the backline. I know it's changed a lot this season as well. So you've not had any kind of real stability. So it's difficult to kind of get that kind of consistency when it is chopping and changing so much. But I think that the players are up for the fight, and that's one of the most important things as well. At least put the effort in. Never say die attitude. And I think you just need to take it one game at a time, Hoggy. We can't. Yeah. I said it last week. I said it the week before. We are not in a position to look too far ahead. So we just need to look at the next game and take it for there, and then the next game after that, and just forget how many games are left. Just the next game's the most important one. We can look back on this cup and say, right, it's great that we've got a chance to actually bring a trophy home, because it might work out that we don't win the league, which is going to be devastating, but it's something we're going to have to put up with. But at least we've got something at the end of the season. If we get through the semi-final, we've got a final to look forward to. But let's not take unlikely either, and I know I'm talking about looking ahead, but we're allowed to look ahead. Fans, I'm talking about the players. St Mirren isn't going to be an easy game. They beat us in the final. All right, it was under Nancy and we were going all over the place. I don't think it's going to happen under Martin, but you still need to respect these.
Yeah.
Quite touch on Dunfermline as well. I watched a bit of that game, and that stadium was absolutely bouncing. By the way, I'd love to see them back in the top league, and that thing you to go to rather than Livingston, because I think it'd be a great atmosphere. It's a cracking wee stadium, East End Park as well.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck Dunfermline, fuck Falkirk, and fuck
I've always had a wee soft spot for Dunfermline since the centenary year, and Jim Leishman and all that. I always have.
Nah. I used to have Andy. My old man was a big Pars man. What's that for?
You're right there though, because it's like every game's a cup final now. Pardon the cliche for it as well, but you can't look too far ahead as well, because the next game we need 3 points.
That's when you get distracted, fucking thinking ahead. That's what the players can do, is concentrate in the next game. And the good thing is, Hoggy, we've now got a chance to fucking relax the players, have a rest. I think they went out last night, let their hair down a wee bit. Just take it easy in training, just get back into it and get working on the training park. It's been interrupted with games midweek and fucking playing on a Sunday, playing the Thursday, and playing catch-up games on a Wednesday. This gives the players a wee bit of a rest and gets work done on the training field as well, because the day out is if they're they're kind of a wee bit.
Fucked. But I think you're right in saying that the fact they can get that wee extra day off or couple of days rest, you've got nothing during the week now. So it's that way, keep them going. There's no point about fitness is there already. You don't need to work on people's fitness, you just need to maintain it. Yeah. But I think you're right there, mate, as well, that this is going to be the case of it's just next game's a winner. Next game, full focus on that. If we win that, bang, next one after that. So Cups will take care of themselves as they always do. We've got a big one on Saturday, Paul. I'm bursting for the toilet now in case anybody thinks I'm going to about here. We'll talk more about that on Friday, or obviously with the Motherwell game. But is there anything, Paul, that we've not really covered on tonight that you want to make sure that we don't miss?
Just a bit more, just sort of context on what happened at the end on Sunday. Obviously, I completely disagree with your man for Denison's point. What I will concede is there is a sort of cause and effect, particularly when it's a 100 deal with. But as I say, I'm not going to say I disagree with going on in the park, but you shouldn't do it, let's be honest. But I don't tend to abide by the normal rules. But yeah, you shouldn't go in the park. But by the same token, you should also be able to sit in the stand and be angry at people. I heard one of them. Can you get every snippets on Facebook? It's just came bits of their podcast, which I will go through more because it'll be funny. I'll give that my feelings on that the new Lauren. If you them, I'll give that the new. Aye, I mean, I suppose the only mistake the Celtic fans made was enjoying themselves in a place that hates seeing us enjoy ourselves. I think that sums it up. So coming to that, Lauren, the what you saying, Chubb, Paul, your old man was a gentleman. Aye, my dad was a gentleman, Chubb. The big Dunfermline fan, but he ran me close with his hatred of the Huns. So, so Lauren's asking about. I hate it every day. So keep it up, Lauren's put it back up.
2 seconds, Paul. Chris, that's the email run the hang of open there, mate. That's the email address. If you take that down.
Aye, for Benny and stuff like that as well, that we're asking for the email address. That's it, running across the bottom. CSP Podcast 2025 gmail.com. There you are, Paul.
Yeah. 66 low stuff in particular. Subject matter shite, let's be honest. But I will take no moral teachings from a support that sing the most repugnant, vile songs and have the complete audacity to go looking for a moral high ground when they didn't like what happened last week with the guy with the phone, when they dream of doing it myself. As I say, the subject matter shite, but let's remember who you're dealing with here and what they perpetuate, the poison that they perpetuate. So, listen, it's stupid. I think, but I mean, I've been to Ibrox. I'm going to say it yesterday going through the bus. I must have been at Ibrox. Chubb, correct me if I'm wrong, but I must have been at Ibrox. Probably, can't be far off 100 times. Must be. Gone since I was about 14, 15 on average, twice a season. So, cup games and all that as well. So listen, and I thought to take a pen and to vandalise it. It's never crossed my mind. So I think it's a bit stupid, but I'm not going to take, as I say, fucking even the remotest criticism or moral teachings for one single person in that fucking Rangers end yesterday. Not one of them. Because man, woman and child, I have stood at Ibrox and seen them besmirch the name of your greatest ever manager, whilst completely refusing to, this is why I despise your Walter Smiths and Graham Souness's and that, because they have completely refused to acknowledge, knowing full well that their club had at last gone for these scumbags at their club, and they have allowed that narrative to continue that it's only Celtic and blah, 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 blah. And I sang God Save the King like yesterday. It's just like, these are kids are mental, man. Selective paedophilia is a dangerous, dangerous thing. So when you're dealing with that, just forget everything else. Deal with that. Just think about that subject that they can be so selective about. And I'm meant to give a fuck what they think about anything. Ken, if any are watching, go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself and stick your moral fucking outrage up your fucking stinking hun arsehole. That's what you can do.
I'll back you up on that, brother, as well. I think anybody that puts pen to any material and writing that stuff somewhere as well, again, give your head a wobble sometimes. Could I tell you honestly, have I ever sang daft shit like that? Absolutely. Absolutely. Never going to say no. Never written it down.
Okay, I've had a tape recorder in my mouth yesterday, dear.
But Paul, that's in both ends here. We get shouted mad stuff at as well. We shout mad stuff at them. It's part of being where we are.
Yeah.
But I just think that somebody to go and do that, I think that's a wee bit fucking shite. I'm one that they heard the David Cooper song yesterday get sang as well. That's another one. I don't take part in that because I was fucking absolutely livid when they were singing about Tommy Burns, how he's a skeleton, a box or whatever.
Let's not try and put they two men in the same sentence.
I know, mate, I know. But that's how I don't give out, because the reason I don't go and slag people is I can't take getting slagged myself. I'm a big wuss. But it's that anybody that's going out and putting pen to paper, I think, is poor behaviour as well. But again, as you're saying it as well, I would take absolutely nothing at all for regards to moral high ground or fucking value chats off of fucking Rangers fans. Absolutely fucking not. Absolutely not.
Not a bit. Can I just pick up on a point? Sorry, Hoggy. Is that you done on that, Hoggy? Or you?
Yep, that was me done. Yep.
Basically, Lauren, fuck the Huns. Fuck them, that's it. But somebody's asked about the guy for Dundee. It was a Dundee Emerald, who I know a lot of their members very well. I didn't know this guy. I probably met him. I believe he's in hospital, but he's going to be all right. Right, okay.
Sorry, Paul. I was doing the thumbs down. No, about the guy you're talking about. You're talking about that comment there. That really, really bad timing.
But there you go. There you go. If you want one description. No, I don't think I need to put my feelings on the Huns out to anybody that's watched me on here. Dislike isn't the right word. Yeah, exactly. Officer Feelgood 1888. Again, the 1 million deaths, the 2 million displacements are apparently comedy sketches that have to be. I mean, I've heard commentators saying in Ibrox that the atmosphere in Ibrox here is brilliant, and they're singing the famine song about the death of 1 million people, starvation of 1 million people, and the displacement of 2 million more. It's 3 million people, folk dying at the side of the road, literally starving because the English decided to sell the wares to France and whatnot. But that's funny. But that's funny. But anyway, so there you go. So the guy for Dundee, funny enough, I've got a couple of the boys to your bus, the Dundee bus, Dundee Emerald. I mean, I think again, policing, they've been put away somewhere fucking obviously in a dangerous area. Whereas before, Hoggy, Andy, I've been to Ibrox before, that couldn't have happened because the buses were all together, miles away for the cunts.
But that's obviously. But I seen somebody talking about that. They put a post on where they were away at a different bit, so their bus was kind of segregated away from the normal Celtic buses there. But supposedly it was the police that told them to what part there. They shouldn't have been part where they were parked. Of course, that you'll go right there.
And how are these loyalist bastards for across the water? It was 2 Irish buses, I believe. How are they still there? Because we were held. That must have been a good half hour, Hoggy, after the game. We were held.
Aye, absolutely.
A good half hour. And by the way, even that, they've got the shutters down. You can't get in the concourse for a picture in it. But anyway, you knew that would happen. Sorry, just to answer that point, I'm actually going to message one of the guys for the bus when I come off here to check. But I've been reading other forums and whatnot. He's going to be all right. And I believe 2 of the scumbags got arrested. There should be more arrests to come, I would imagine, on the way to the ferry or waiting to get on the ferry. And it has to be attempted murder because I hate that saying maybe should get a football game and not come home. Stay at a 4, I could file a bus for Cowdenbeath. I'd be happy never come home. Never mind fucking anywhere else. Anyway, I really hate that saying. It's up there with fucking on the grass and fucking in the building and all that shit. Maybe should get a football game and not come home. Get a grip. Anyway,
thank you very much.
So the guy's going to be all right, and it has to be attempted murder because listen, I've seen a lot of violence at the football in the years, but the guy's clearly not good, and they're putting him in the fucking head, the scumbag bastards. That's attempted murder.
That's not attempted murder.
You're probably right, Hoggy. You're probably ultimately you're probably right. But again, if you want another example of the level of hatred that they possess that we can't compete with. Thankfully, and that's saying something by what I think of them. But we can't compete.
I'm sitting there. Who the fuck's he talking about? The guy that Bolton talks sense like there's no I was getting sense in us, but Paul, you talk sense, brother. Guys, I'm going to wrap a big fucking rope round about this one and call it.
Aye.
Because we're getting to that stage.
Aye, so that's it. The boy's going to be all right.
Gentlemen, thank you very much for your time tonight. Again, guys, I'm as rough as Tarzan's feet, as I said as well. I need to go to my fucking bed. Paul, I think is feeling a wee bit unwell as well. You're under the weather, the new brother as well. Andy, thank you very much for your time tonight. Guys, thank you for everything as well. If you can, please check our socials for the email address, csppodcast2025@gmail.com. Guys, it's a real worthy charity that we're giving this to. It's £5 for one ticket. See, even if you don't get a prize, fucking put a fiver into the charity as well. We are here. I had an initial target of £500. I'm wanting to double that. £1,000 my target now. So let's go. Let's go. Anything else, guys?
Done.
All good. Guys, as always, stay safe, stay blessed, stay Celtic, and stay CSP.